Welcome to Through the Table Podcast with Brian, JL, Tom, Rick, and Russ.
So, what did everyone think about the AEW pay-per-view?
I loved it. I know you. I know you had your issues with it. I was entertained from start to finish. It was the second straight AEW pay-per-view I bothered to actually I shouldn't say it like that, but like I've actually invested myself into and money, and I enjoyed both of them. I thought this one was extremely entertaining. It was one of the best that I've seen. Yes, there's some issues to it, but I thought this was actually better than the previous one.
I wouldn't go that far.
I would say
you didn't have the Big Show match.
True, but
but everything else was.
I thought overall it was better quality.
Right. I mean,
they both were good, no doubt about it.
It was a good pay-per-view. Like I said, I don't like MJF, but his match with Darby was great.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said in the chat, I think he definitely carried Darby.
Oh yeah,
to an incredible match.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say something about MJF, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
We are in a very unique position right now. There are people who 50 years ago did not understand what they were seeing when Ric Flair first started. We are in a position right now, and I said this last week, and I mean it. We're in a position right now where we are seeing the start. We are seeing the beginning of one of the most legendary careers that is going to be seen.
NostroTOMus.
Rick, I know you don't like him that much, but I'm telling you, this is the guy that 20, 30, 40 years from now, my intern is probably going to be doing a podcast with his buddies talking about the legend of MJF.
NostroTOMus.
We're at the beginning of that. We're seeing something that some people don't recognize right away. I think that's exactly where we're at. He is going to be an absolute star in this industry.
Will he be WWE World Champion someday?
I think so. I think he's going to create a bidding war, like he said on Wednesday night. I think he's 100% accurate about that.
Go ahead. I would say one thing that I'm like, I hope it just I don't even know, but I really hope they don't put him over Punk. I hope they don't do it. You guys saw Dynamite, obviously.
Yep.
Punk came out, did that little thing with MJF. So obviously that's where they're going with it.
Yeah.
But it's like, do you put? And I don't know, because I could see Punk being like, all right, well, this guy, he reminds me a lot of myself when I was starting, blah blah blah, all this stuff. I'm going to put this guy over, and it's. I really hope that's not the case. I don't know if there's just same thing I heard. What was it? It was an interview with Jericho, and somebody asked Jericho about MJF, and Jericho kind of brought up what I've mentioned, where it's a lot of the stuff he says, it's like it's almost uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Like some of the stuff he says, it's like I don't know, and even Jericho said that was like, well, it's it's the wrong kind of heat. It's not. I don't know. It's just like I said. I think he's too, I guess, vulgar. You know what I mean? As weird as that sounds, like I don't know. I just it's kind of like the Devon Dudley, Bubba Ray Dudley from ECW 97 ECW or whatever, and it's the same thing. It's vulgar because he can,
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Obviously, he's not as vulgar as Bubba Ray Dudley was in 1997, but
No.
I don't know. I just think it's like a hack. Just I don't know. I just don't like his material. Like I enjoy like a Max Caster. That's hilarious to me. You know what I mean? But MJF is, I don't know. He's not. I just don't like I just don't like the gimmick, I guess. But to each their own. I mean, who knows? Maybe he is. Maybe he'll be like. Maybe he'll bring wrestling out of this slump that it's been in and bring it back to how it was in the late 90s.
How dare you cross NostroTOMus?
He hasn't been wrong.
I mean, there's a lot of people back 50 years ago that probably thought the same about Flair.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some of the things he was doing and saying and stuff. I mean, do you think if it's a different time then, talking about, and not actually saying he was out banging ladies, but that's basically what he was alluding to, right?
I mean,
Yes.
I would, but that was more just like him just being a
playboy.
He's like, I'm the man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? You didn't see
But that might have been lewd for those days.
But you didn't see Ric Flair being like, Ricky Steamboat, your mom should have had an abortion or your mom should have swallowed you. You know what I mean? It's just.
Yeah.
Like,
then you have one dumbbella say to the other dumbbella that she wished she died in the womb, but yet she screamed womb. I still hear that. Woo! Oh, God.
Their birthday's tomorrow.
Is it really? Good.
Yeah.
I hope it's also the day they expire.
Wow. Wow.
NostroTOMus.
I said hope, not that it's going to happen. If the FBI agent's listening in.
Goldberg is.
Oh, on that case, yeah, Goldberg. Drive off a cliff. Anyway, but no, I'm just saying, like, yeah, there's plenty of people that didn't see that in Flair and didn't like in Flair too, but I think that's what kind of makes it great too, is that, I can see where he's going to end up going. And I don't know. He's a generational talent.
Does MJF ever wrestle Flair in his lifetime?
I God hope not.
No way.
Please don't.
No way.
Since Flair wants one more match,
I don't think anybody wants that.
No.
it's going to be in Mexico or Japan. That's to be the only places that'll let him work, because they don't know how old you are, or if you're in good health or not, they'll let you work.
Didn't Rey Mysterio kill a guy down there once?
Yeah. Yeah, he did.
Excellent.
Yeah, what happens in Mexico and Japan doesn't exist unless it's
Yeah.
told to someone.
Especially Mexico.
Oh no.
Who was the last guy that just died a year or two ago? It was like right before COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And like they could have saved him if they just like started doing CPR, but it was in the middle of the match.
They didn't
and
know
were
what.
just-
Yeah, they wanted to
just-
finish the match.
Yep.
Yeah,
Hey,
they just
show's
pushed
gonna
him
go
over.
on.
Yeah, left him
pushed
at
him under the
ringside.
rope.
Mhm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Mexico.
No, they don't. I could definitely see him working if he wants to do that match. He'll be working in Mexico or Japan.
I could see like him doing one of those New Japan, like the dark match of Wrestle Kingdom with with.
Oh no, they put him on. They put him on the pay-per-view.
No way.
Oh yeah, he'd be in the Rumble.
Wrinkly ass, liver spotted Ric Flair.
He'd be in that Rumble that they do. Sure, he would.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, I could see that. And
Not a match, but you promote him that he's going to be in it, because that one always makes a pay-per-view. So why not? So it's that opening match of the whole Wrestle Kingdom.
And you can do that gimmick that Iron Sheik did at WrestleMania
Mhm.
17, where he's take any bump whatsoever, so he has to win.
No, they'll have him do the bump into the corner and eliminate himself.
He can't do that anymore.
Sure, he can.
No,
Sure,
way.
he can.
He could barely do it 12 years ago.
He'll die.
That's his whole point, I guess.
He's just gonna kill himself in the ring.
He said that in his podcast there. He goes, I'd rather die in the ring having one more match than not have a match.
Is that before or after he said that Roddy Piper takes payments in cocaine?
I don't know what part it was.
Oh yeah, that podcast is gonna get in trouble.
Oh, it sure is.
Is that with Conrad as well?
I don't know if it is or not.
Because he did that one with Conrad for like
I don't
3
think
weeks. And then he
I
was
don't
like,
think
"Fuck
Conrad's
this."
the host of it, but it could be on his network.
Nah.
I don't know. I know he's not the host of it, but it could be on the network because I heard a few clips from it, and he went all into Becky Lynch too. So he went way off the first show. It might have never have another one because he went off on everybody. He wants his titles back. Becky's a loser and doesn't understand the wrestling business, and I'm going to have another match or die. And he just went
So
off.
what's the deal with his titles? I don't understand.
WWE
that.
has them. He owns them.
So if he owns them, why does...
I think they put them on Access and stuff like that.
He wants them back. He doesn't want them to have them, period. And they won't return any of his phone calls.
But if they're legally his,
Yep.
He might have sold them to him.
It's a Jason Tom situation.
I don't know. Yeah.
WWE is gonna show up at Flair. Vince McMahon is gonna show up at Flair's house at like 7:15 in the morning.
Flair will show up at his house and just sit there and wait for him to give him the belts.
Why is the WWE trying to make Ric Flair drive to Lowell? He's trying to work.
Well, especially with their show, they probably have been buying a bunch of like old stuff. So I think
they've been buying a ton of old stuff.
You mean the one
Flair
that Top
sold
Dollar
it.
hosts?
Right.
Former WWE superstar Top Dollar.
Yeah, right.
Future host is going to be somebody.
I wasn't a fan of Top Dollar at all, but I definitely am looking forward to his whatever he has to say
His
in 90
expose.
days.
Yeah.
Because he just posted something not even an hour ago that was like, oh, wait till these 90 days are up.
Taya Valkyrie's saying the same thing. She's got a bunch of stories to tell about NXT stuff. I guess, I don't know. Did you hear what Chelsea Green said on her podcast a couple of weeks ago?
No.
When she was trying to get the job from Ring of Honor, I guess a bunch of WWE executives called Ring of Honor saying, don't use her. You don't want to deal with her. She's horrible to deal with, this and that, and saying a whole bunch of crap about her. And they totally ignored her and brought her in anyway. I guess they told her that.
Wow.
WWE called and said all these things about you.
They're like 16-year-old girls. That's why they always talk about social media pages.
And that's why they bashed Keith Lee last week, and I'm sure probably none of it's true. They just want to make themselves look good in the long run now.
Jesus.
Insane.
Mm-hmm.
They don't care about the people who watch their program as long as they're getting their money. They don't care about the people who work for their company as long as they get money. They just don't care.
Right.
And this is what I said last week. I said they're not the destination anymore because people starting to see that you can be a professional wrestler. You can be a professional wrestler somewhere else and be treated like a human being. What a novel concept of actually being treated like a human being. What is happening?
Yeah, it's like, I know it's almost just, same song over and over again, but it's like, when does it stop? You know what I mean? Are they literally just going to try to have, like, are they going back to mid 90s where they had maybe 20 people on the roster?
We're getting close. We're getting close to that.
I mean, I understand that they definitely went into this like hoarding mode where, for a while where they was just trying to sign everyone they could, and now it's almost like, and it's kind of sad too, because, once again, we're at a point where it's not like AEW can sign all these guys. So now there's just all this talent that, not so much has nowhere to go, but
we need another billionaire.
Exactly. I mean, you really kind of do at this point. There's just so much talent that's been released that won't be able to land anywhere because there's not enough room on these national like stages anymore.
Yeah.
Bunch of
Yeah.
independents are going to be having a lot of crazy shows soon.
And that's a great point too, because there's a lot of these people who aren't going to get booked in AEW or Impact or wherever, so they got to go somewhere. They gotta eat.
ECW.
So they're going to go to some of these local independents, and that's going to help the local independents thrive. Can you imagine running the EWA nowadays, and you've got like, hey, we're going to bring in Hit Row today because they've got nowhere else to go, so we're going to bring in Hit Row. And now all of a sudden, we got people who are interested in Hit Row are going to come out to the Balch Center and watch the EWA with Hit Row.
Johnny EWA.
I mean, in all honesty, like this, think about all the guys and girls who haven't been picked up yet, who haven't done anything yet. That's where they're going to end up doing stuff for a while.
I mean, I was just, doing the Chris Hero autograph signing. The Chaotic Wrestling was having a show tonight.
Yeah.
And it's just Anthony Green. Fandango was there. I'm trying to think.
You mean Dirty Dango?
Dirty Dango? Yeah. Sorry.
Get it right.
But and it's cool because you know what I mean, like that. It gives them somewhere to go. Hopefully Chaotic has a good show and they make a bunch of money tonight.
With a lot of people there.
Make a bunch of what?
A bunch of money. Honestly, because when I got there, just even for the meet and greet, there was only probably 20 people in line. I mean, the show started at 8, so
sure.
I was already home before the show even started.
Right, you were there a couple hours before. Probably they opened the doors at 7.
But so they I mean, seemed like there was this like a good amount of people starting to show up.
Mm-hmm.
But
interesting location to run at.
Honestly, if none of the matches really interested me, but I probably would have stayed just because it was a super interesting venue. They used the like one of the not the big function hall, but there's one like right next to it that's like a smaller one. They ran in there instead.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, it looked a lot like the what was it? Winter War 99. I think it was Winter War 99, like the hotel room kind of.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like that's what the room looked like.
Well, one of these days we'll take the podcast on the road and do it from a show.
That'd be cool.
See if we can get a couple of guests to join in or something, like a couple of local wrestlers or something. Maybe we can get a quick interview with them or something.
I think we would be able to get guests for sure.
I mean, I know there's one I want Russ to get.
I'm working on it.
Oh, that's fine. Hey, if we get a bunch of views that day.
Honestly, I'm surprised that who knows, maybe they have, but the fact that he wasn't picked up like Jay Lethal, how quickly Brody,
Well, in the post Full Gear presser that they did, 3 different people mentioned Brody King by name that they want to come in to AEW.
Oh, really?
3.
Was one of them, definitely one of them was Malachi Black.
Well, he didn't do it.
Oh, no.
It was Punk.
Wow.
Jay Lethal, obviously.
Right.
And Dante Martin, believe it or not.
Well, Brody wants to do it. He just has.
I'm guaranteeing there's a bunch of other guys because he's worked with so many guys out of there. They're all vouched for him. He doesn't have to even worry about it. It's just, can he fit into the schedule and all that stuff?
Because he has a particular schedule. Because he has a band.
Yep.
He likes working in movies.
And he's got a New Japan contract too.
And he has a kid too.
Mm-hmm. And he works New Japan Strong. That's his New Japan, whatever, that every show they have, he does. So they'd have to work around that.
I schedule things around my porn time.
Makes sense.
See, I feel like AEW is probably the best you know what I mean? Like
They have two roles for him right now. If he'd won either,
right. But also too, I mean,
I think it's a matter of time.
It's
Oh,
not
yeah,
like
right.
it's not like WWE where they do house shows. It's basically
Mhm.
it's just Dynamite. You fly in on a Tuesday, you fly out on a Wednesday.
Which is
And-
why they've got the ability to go live on Fridays.
Eventually, I think it's going to wind up being that.
I think it has to be because it's hurting them. It's
Because
hurting them
the
doing it
live
taped.
the live rampages compared to the tape rampages is a huge difference with the amount of views watched and everything like that. Just live. The
Like, I already know
+7 they never add in, but the +7s are huge for them.
I already know what's happening tonight, and
Mhm.
it's like I'm gonna watch it, but if I was a casual fan, I'd be like, all right, I know what's happening.
Well, I guess the tag team main event everyone says is just outstanding.
And who's that? Who's in that?
Fish and Cole versus Jurassic Express.
Yeah.
They said the other two matches, they're okay, but that one is like a don't miss match.
Can't wait to see the Undisputed Era.
It's gonna be awesome.
Couldn't say it. I love when they cut them off. Oh, you can't say that here.
I like the promo they did on Wednesday when Cole was like, "Don't worry, cleaner, I got this." Does everyone know
Mhm.
about that? So Brian knows.
Tell our fans.
I know it. Some
Okay,
people
so-
may not.
Yeah.
There was a couple of years ago on Twitter, like somebody was it Matt Riddle? Matt Riddle said something about
I believe so.
I don't know if it was exactly towards Kenny Omega, but it was basically Kenny Omega and Matt Riddle who got into some kind of
Mhm.
Twitter beef or whatever, and some random fan started chiming in, and Kenny was like, it's not that big of a deal. Like I like Matt. Matt's a good guy. Blah blah blah, and all this stuff. And the kid just tweeted at Kenny, "Don't worry, cleaner, I got this." And it was just it was the most cringe I ever read on Twitter. I was low key embarrassed for this dude.
Yeah, right.
But then so then they did it on the
Mhm.
fact that I laughed so hard when I heard Cole say that. I was like,
Yep.
oh my God, I can't believe it. But then even that, they turned that into something funny, and then Kenny
Right.
turns around and goes, "No, I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to the Bucks." And it was
Mhm.
like, "Oh, you're gonna fight."
Oh,
And
yeah.
Oh yeah,
I'm
they set
there
it
for
up
that.
for it.
In like
Once
8
he's
months.
back from his 700 surgeries.
Exactly. He's
I
going
can't-
to basically get a new body.
I can't believe he was wrestling with a goddamn hernia like that.
The hernia is one thing. The man had vertigo.
He still has it.
He's doing all those flips and everything, not being able to see straight.
Well, the
Yeah,
fact that he's like doing top rope friggin' one-winged angels and he's doing
So-
vertigo. It's like, how are you not killing anyone?
That's what I'm saying. Like he missed. So remember there was that power bomb that he had missed like about 2 months ago,
Mhm.
and like everyone's like, oh, he's losing it. He missed
the
that power bomb.
Luchasaurus one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
One freaking move in
Yep.
like 6 months that he messed up with vertigo, a hernia, a back issue, knee issues, all
Shoulder
that.
issue. Yeah.
Holy
Both shoulders are so ruined. They said he couldn't lift 5 pounds with his left shoulder or his arm. He couldn't lift 5 pounds up at all.
The stuff he was doing at 30%.
Yep, probably.
30% is probably where he was, and what he was doing is better than most guys at 130.
I mean, now it makes sense why he was wrestling very few and far between.
And he had something up with his nose too. He has to have surgery on his nose now because he can't
Jesus.
breathe out of it correctly. So he was working matches without being able to breathe out of your nose as well, which is very difficult to do. Yep.
That's wild.
And he carried the promotion for a year, just about.
Oh, absolutely.
Now he's going to take, they say February, but why rush back if you got all this stuff?
No,
He's basically, each surgery is going to be by a specialist. So it'll probably be a couple of weeks apart, but he's going to be like barely able to move soon.
Yeah, I could. When honestly,
the hernia is not horrible. That's out of all of them. That's probably that, and the nose will be the easiest things. But both shoulders and a knee.
But my thing was just the fact that he like I said, he's wrestling with the hernia. He's just lifting all these, oh man.
I don't know how he's doing. They were helping him obviously, but still getting those guys up for everything, that's gotta suck.
Yeah. But
I guess he has videos with his chiropractor, and they're going to put some of them online.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw
and
one
he's
today.
Like killing him. Like you could hear him when he's doing a few of the things that Omega's in so much pain. I was like, oh. and he's working through it all. It's not like 5-minute matches either. Like the Danielson one where it went to her half an hour, like,
right.
and you're at 30%. Like, wow.
It's ridiculous.
Imagine him at 100%, you know?
So that's what. Yeah, he's gonna come back. He's gonna get fixed up.
Yep.
Come back, and he'll be the biggest baby face.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
After Michael Cole. Now I'm doing the JL. After Adam Cole ruins everything with the
Well,
Elite and all that, and it's all broken up. He
Well,
comes
Kenny
back
Omega
at the
tweeted
end.
out last night.
Yeah, right. Kenny Omega tweeted it out.
I was checking out his Facebook page and fucking Michael Cole sucks.
But they're saying that was the Full Gear was the second largest pay-per-view
Yes.
buys without cable and TV involved right now.
Honestly, they gotta do something other than Bleacher Report.
Unfortunately,
Yeah,
that's
that was
they're owned by Turner. That's Turner's thing. They're not going to get off of it. It
that's pretty
sucks.
brutal.
Mm-hmm.
I just both pay-per-views, the last two, it's
Yeah.
it was like, I don't know if it was just my internet or what, but I have the like an Amazon Fire Stick,
Yeah.
and I watch I'm watching Nitro right now, and it's perfectly fine. I put on Bleacher Report, and it was literally like choppy. It was just every every
They should
Mhm.
go
4
HBO
seconds.
Max.
It's going to happen sooner than later.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, they're doing the streaming thing soon. It's what they're saying. What, early 2022, right? Probably. I would assume.
They're saying summer of 2022.
Okay, so it got pushed back a little bit.
They
'Cause I
they
know
want to make sure that they
initially-
have everything working right before they
Yeah.
put it on there.
I'm okay waiting another few months. I'm
Right.
okay with that.
Yeah. I mean, I already have HBO Max, so if that's just
Mhm.
extra, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I
reason
They'll,
to get it
they'll
again.
probably charge you not $50. It might be like $25 for the pay-per-view through HBO Max or something
Right.
like that. It's not going to be a full price at 50 for it.
right.
Well,
that's
they'll
cool
do
too.
something because they have it in theaters too.
Yeah.
You don't pay $50
Mhm.
for the theater.
No,
Honest-
it's $25 to get a ticket
Right.
through the theater.
I really think that the next time there's a pay-per-view, I might just suck it up and go do that.
I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And
Brian and I were
just
talking
at the
about
movie
that
theater?
on Sunday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just because
I went.
Yeah.
I went one time. It's fun.
Yeah.
I say we should all do it.
Yeah, definitely.
Russ, fly in for it.
What's their next show?
It's
What
in
is it?
February.
Revolution?
Revolution. Yep.
It'll be televised.
Evolution.
I think like February 20th or something like that.
yeah, it's usually the end of the and back half of the month.
That's
Not
a
the
week
30th.
after the Super Bowl.